phones, Babylons can't crack the
This is Kevin Sumlin, and after 3 seasons of being the University of Arizona's head football coach, he's officially been fired this past weekend after an embarrassing loss to in-state rival Arizona State, where they ended up losing 7-70 on their own home territory. And not only that, it was their 12th straight loss as a team. When Kevin Sumlin was first hired by the University of Arizona to be their head football coach before the 2018 college football season, he was seen as someone that could build off their 7-6 season and build for the future and help them potentially compete for a Pac-12 title. But this never happened. Kevin Sumlin actually ended up going 9-20 as his time as Arizona's head coach, including losing the last 12 of his games. But with all this said, why did Kevin Sumlin fail at Arizona? Before I talk about why Kevin Sumlin failed at Arizona, first I'm going to talk about his head coaching career so far at the Division I level before he got to Arizona. Kevin Sumlin's first Division I head coaching gig would be at the University of Houston. The program that Kevin Sumlin inherited at Houston was actually pretty decent, honestly. I mean, when he got there as the head coach, they made bowl games 3 of their last 3 years, and they came from a team that was kind of a below average team to above average. In 2006, they went 10-4 and went to the Liberty Bowl. And the year before Sumlin became the head coach, the 2007 college football season, they went 8-5 and made a Texas Bowl appearance. Kevin Sumlin would spend 4 seasons at Houston and kick off his head coaching career at the Division I level, and he did a pretty good job at Houston. He went 35-17 in 4 seasons and even went 1-1 in bowl games. Kevin Sumlin would get off to a fast start at Houston his first 2 seasons he was there. In his first season, he went 8-5 and won the Armed Forces Bowl. In his second season, he would crack into the top 25 AP poll and even being ranked 12th at one time for the first time in his head coaching career to be in the polls. He would end up going 10-4 in his second season, but would lose his bowl game in the Armed Forces Bowl. And in his third season, it was pretty disappointing. They ended up going 5-7. But his 4th season in the 2011 college football season is what propelled him to have a head coaching career at the Power 5 level. Houston in the 2011 college football season would end up going 13-1 and even won a bowl game in the Ticket City Bowl. Unfortunately, their only loss was in the Conference USA Championship, which was Kevin Sumlin's final game as a head coach at Houston before leaving and becoming the head coach at Texas A&M. In his last season at Houston, he ended up going 12-1 and even had one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in Case Keenum. The next team that Kevin Sumlin would become the head coach for would be Texas A&M. And this isn't just any other Texas A&M. His first season as a head coach at Texas A&M would be their first season in the SEC. The 4 seasons prior before Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M was in the Big 12, and they were not that great of a team. I mean, the past 4 seasons before Sumlin got there, their best season was 9-4 in the 2010 college football season, where they ended up losing the Cotton Bowl, but they really didn't do that well. I mean, they had records of 4-8, 6-7, 9-4, and 7-6. They really were not the best team ever, and they needed a new face for their new team in a new conference, and the best guy that was available was Kevin Sumlin, and they had faith that he was going to ignite a flame in this program and make them one of the top teams in the SEC. Kevin Sumlin would exceed expectations in year 1 of his coaching career at A&M. In the SEC, which is very tough, they're one of the top teams. They finished at 11-2 for their season record, won a Cotton Bowl over a very good OU team, and finished at number 5 in the AP poll. And not only that, they had the Heisman winner, Johnny Manziel. The future at Texas A&M was looking very bright in the Kevin Sumlin era right off the bat. Going into Kevin Sumlin's second season at Texas A&M, the 2013 college football season, the Aggies had a lot of hype surrounding their name, and it was all justified. They just had an amazing season in the 2012 college football season, where they finished 5th in the AP poll, where it was all done and finalized, and they even won the Cotton Bowl against a very good Oklahoma squad and had the Heisman winner returning in Johnny Manziel. But the thing is, In the 2013 college football season, Texas A&M, despite going 9-4 and winning the Chick-fil-A Bowl, they were kind of disappointing. Texas A&M would end up finishing 18th in the final AP poll, which definitely is not bad at all, but it's just all the hype that was surrounding their name going into the 2013 college football season. They really didn't meet any of those expectations like everyone thought they would. It was just kind of disappointing. In Kevin Sumlin's next 3 seasons at Texas A&M, they would get slightly worse from the 9-4 season and go 8-5 for the next 3 straight seasons, but they would end up going 1-2 in bowl games, only winning 1 game, which was the Liberty Bowl, and losing 2, which were the Music City Bowl and the Texas Bowl. And going into Kevin Sumlin's final season of the 2017 college football season, he had to win, and he had to win big. He was on the hot seat due to not really living up to his hype after his first season. Kevin Sumlin in the 2017 college football season at Texas A&M was on the hot seat going in, and he never got off the hot seat. He would end up getting fired before the season even ended. He would coach the full regular season, going 7-5 his last season as a head coach at Texas A&M, but he would not coach in their bowl game, in which they lost in the Belk Bowl. In Kevin Sumlin's time at Texas A&M, he was there for 6 seasons, and he ended up going 51-26 in those 6 seasons, and being 3-2 in bowl games. Kevin Sumlin's next head coaching gig would be at the University of Arizona. And this Arizona team, before he was coaching there, was not bad at all. In 6 seasons, they made it to 5 bowl games, and they went 3-2 in those 5 bowl games. The main reason why Sumlin was brought to Arizona, a team that was already going to bowl games and winning them, was mainly because Arizona liked Rich Rodriguez, but they wanted someone that was going to put them over the edge, and they saw someone as that dude. And especially with how he has had quarterbacks he's produced in the past, such as Case Keenum and Johnny Manziel, they had a very young up-and-coming quarterback in Arizona that just had an amazing season in Khalil Tate. And they thought, with Kevin Sumlin and Khalil Tate, the ceiling is high. In Kevin Sumlin's first season as head coach at the University of Arizona in the 2018 college football season, he really did not do the best job there. They ended up finishing 5-7. In Kevin Sumlin's second season as the head coach at the University of Arizona in the 2019 college football season, it did not start off bad at all. They ended up starting 4-1 to start off the 2019 college football season, and then it got ugly. They lost 7 straight and ended up going 4-8. Going into the 2020 college football season, it was known that Kevin Sumlin was on the hot seat for Arizona, and he had to do something while he was there. He had to get a winning season this year. And it was a shortened season as well, so it was going to be a lot harder to have a winning season. You had to go at least 3-2 for Arizona. And it was not pretty for Arizona this season. They finished 0-5, had one of the worst offenses and defenses in all of college football, and that losing streak increased to 12. And after their final game of the 2020 college football season, hosting in-state rival Arizona State, in which Kevin Sumlin has never beaten, they ended up losing on their own home turf, 7-70. And that was the final straw for Kevin Sumlin at Arizona. He was fired the day after that game. But the big question of this video is, why did Kevin Sumlin fail at Arizona? Now, in my opinion, I think there's a few reasons why Kevin Sumlin failed at Arizona. The first one being is Arizona had way too high expectations of Kevin Sumlin when he was hired. Now, Arizona had a program in which they were having winning seasons with Rodriguez, and they got rid of him, which is expected to kind of change the culture, because you kind of fired a coach for no reason just to bring in another guy you think will take you to the next level. Not many teams do that. And when they brought in someone, their expectations were to make it to the Pac-12 championship game, or to at least compete for it, or to try to win one. And they never did. Another reason why I think Kevin Sumlin failed at Arizona was recruiting. Now, I know Arizona's really never had the top recruits going to their school or anything like that and having some of the top recruiting classes in the country, but Kevin Sumlin and his time at Arizona, they were having some of the worst recruiting in the Pac-12 while he was there. And if you cannot recruit well, you're not going to put out the best talent on the field, especially if you do not develop that talent very well at all. The final reason why I think Kevin Sumlin failed at Arizona, and I can't ignore this reason because if I do, Arizona fans are going to be at my neck in the comments, and I know if I ignore this, I'm just going to get hate. This is just obvious. The coaching wasn't the best that he was doing. They weren't developing players well. The play calling seemed off at times, and they just seemed to struggle to get hot. And it wasn't like Kevin Sumlin had bums. He had Khalil Tate, who was seen as a potential Heisman finalist and Heisman winner in his career, and he never even got close to reaching that level. Well guys, if you guys liked the video, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out!